What is that? What even is that?
I'm that character from Lord of the Rings, Viggo Morgenstein.
The price is wrong.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. It's time for another episode of Good News, where we talk about the only news that matters. And I'm doing it a little bit differently this time. I'm going to do the sitting with the desk behind me segments, but also throwing in a little bit of green screen as well so you can see the things that I'm talking about a little bit more clearly. Let me know what you think about this format, because it does take a bit more work, but also I want to be the greatest toy YouTuber who ever existed. And to do that, it's going to take a bit more work, because I'm not going to lie, the competition is pretty steep, and I've got a lot of catching up to do. So guys, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you think of it. Let's get to the news. So, in the words of the previous Joker, here we go. Wow, $250. That is a big price for two figures with a diorama set.
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
Now, McFarlane actually put out a press release saying, hey, we know this is quite expensive, but that's because this is a mature product. And I think what that implies is that we're not going to be putting this in regular toy shops. You're not going to find this in Ollie's. This is for a very small, specific, bespoke market. And that's why we have to charge extra in order to meet our overheads. I get it. Doesn't mean I like it. I honestly don't think that Todd McFarlane was sitting there going, I want to make huge amounts of money. I'm going to charge a crazy amount for this. Maybe he was. I mean, he's got to buy some more baseballs, I imagine, or whatever he spends his money on. But it seems like that's a silly amount if you're just trying to make an extra buck. I can't help but feel that McFarlane probably did the math and were like, this is what we need to charge. Based on these projections of how many we're going to sell to this limited adult collector market, we got to charge this to make a profit. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm guessing it is. The problem is, though, it's all about the elasticity of demand. And I don't think there's going to be many people willing to pay $250 for this set, but I'm willing to bet there are a few. And I ain't knocking you. If you are, if you see this and you're like, you know what? I love the movie, I love these accessories, I love the extra gimmicks, I'm willing to pay £250 or dollars. More power to you. Because it is, at least, it's not just the two action figures and the diorama. You also get some props and things as well. There's a steel plate sign. There's an actual life-size replica of the Joker's manuscript book, notebook, I guess. So there are some fun things in there. But still, I don't know if it's enough to justify $250. In my mind, it isn't. But to someone else, it may well be. And honestly, it's up to you. You know, it's crazy to think that we must be around about the 25th anniversary of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies. It must be somewhere around about that time. Certainly Bandai seem to know that, because they're making a whole bunch of new Lord of the Rings 1/12 scale action figures. So they're really going into it with their Lord of the Rings figures. So this Aragorn, I got to say, looks nice. I think the cloth goods on this guy, but they look nice. They really do. This cape here, it looks decent. And they've got the Viggo Morgenstein look. So I'm just taking that from Always Sunny. I know it's Viggo Mortensen, but it looks really good. Viggo Mortenstein. Sorry, that's just tickling me now. I gotta go watch It's Always Sunny again. But yeah, this looks real nice. He's going to be available for pre-order on the 18th of this month, so only a couple of days away, and then should be releasing around about June. And how can you have Viggo Morgenstein without Gollum and Frodo? Literally had to remember the name of the main character of Lord of the Rings. Frodo, there you go. And it's more good-looking Tamashii Nations stuff. That's all I can really add. I'm filling a little bit of space while I show the pictures. But really, you know, if you want these. Lord of the Rings, it never really bonded with me. I think most people who love Lord of the Rings read the books. And honestly, this might come as a shock to you, but your old pal Dave here, not much of a reader, no. Unless it's comic books. I can do comic books, but novels, fantasy, nah, I can't do it. Interesting little insight into my brain and the way that it works. I was talking to someone not that long ago, and they love reading fantasy, and they say, oh, I love to get lost in this world, and I read it, and it takes me there, and I imagine being there, and I'm like, I wish I could do that. My brain just doesn't. I read and my eyes see the words and my brain takes in the information. But I don't get lost in it. My brain's just like, no, this is just info. So yeah, that's why I need pictures to go with it. Makes it a bit more interesting. But if you are a person who can really dive into the fantasy books, you know what? I'm envious of you. A couple more previews from Lord of the Rings. We've got Hera and Wolf from the upcoming War of Rohirrim. Rohirrim. The upcoming War of Rohirrim animated show or movie. Careful, Dave, your ignorance is showing. Quick, let's move on to the next segment before I just keep talking. Look, I'm doing it now. Matey Toys or Meti Toys, I don't know. But they've shown this lovely version of their upcoming Panda Shaolin type warrior figure. I think he's available for pre-order on 5K Toys, possibly a few other places as well. Normally I go to 5K for my import type figures. But he looks good, but this is the day and age and era of your anthropomorphic animals. So you got to be exceptional to really break through the crowd because there's so many. And I think that even though the panda looks nice, I don't think he looks that amazing. But where he does stand head and shoulders above others is in the cloth goods. This Shaolin monk looking soft gear that he's wearing, oh, that's what does it. That's what really takes this from being another generic animal warrior to being something quite special. I think that looks real pretty. So that's very clever on their part. They were like, okay, well, how do we differentiate this? And it's like, boom, some beautiful cloth goods. And honestly, from this video at least, these are some of the prettiest I've ever seen. Really great job. You know, every time I do an episode of Good News, there's always more McFarlane DC multiverse stuff to talk about, and this one is no exception. A whole bunch of old repaints and one new guy as well. I'm not sure who this is, but I can at least read the words in front of me. That's what comes with being a functioning person who can sight read. So this is Geoforce. The Outsiders, brackets, I guess that's the name of a team that he's in? I don't know. McFarlane Collector's Edition 24, available in stores now, exclusively at Target. Okay, all right. So 7-inch scale features 3, no less, swappable faceplates, 2 fire effects, art card, and a base. So if you're a DC fan and you know who this guy is, then actually help me out in the comments if you wouldn't mind. I'm intrigued. Who is this guy? But if you like him, you can go get him now at Target. We've also got ourselves an autograph series figure. So Batman Noel, no less. A little bit festive coming into the winter season. Autograph series gold label is available for pre-order now, only at Walmart. And you know how McFarlane loves to take their characters and then make them slightly less interesting, so we have the black and white version of Blue Beetle. Kind of defeats the name, really. So this is available now at McFarlane Toys store and, McFarlane Toys store. State of your name, mate. McFarlane Toys store and Walmart. So there you go. If you like Blue Beetle, but you wish he was black and white, well, you can get this. Look, I shouldn't knock it because, hey, they wouldn't make it if people didn't buy them. If you do buy them, more power to you. I wish I could find that love in black and white figures too, but I'm not because I'm a bitter old crusty shell of a man. I'm not really. I got a lot of love in me. Not so much for these figures, though. You know, I think Joy Toy have noticed the good responses they've been getting from their TMNT reveals, because they're like, you know what, if you like those, we got a whole bunch more for you. Now we're getting April O'Neil and Splinter, and both of them, whew, they do look pretty good. So first up, April O'Neil. I love it when companies take an instantly recognizable character and then just tweak them a little bit just to put their own spin on it. They really haven't changed April at all. This is the 1980s cartoon April, but they were like, well, let's just, change her jumpsuit a little bit, give her some accessories, just make her look a little bit different for our action figure. And that's what they've done. And I got to say, I think she looks real good. The fact that she comes with the mouses as well, and the video camera, the backpack, there's a lot of good stuff here. I feel like, once again, Joy Toy, you're giving people bang for their buck, and I also wipe my brow and go, whew, Thank goodness these are 1/18th scale, so I'm not so drawn to them. If these were 1/12th, oh, they'd be difficult to resist. But, luckily I can kind of just enjoy them from afar. And speaking of which, Splinter as well. It's another great, slightly unique, but also straight up classic Splinter. I do like it when designers give him white fur to simulate an old man mustache and goatee. That's kind of cute. Then also giving him the sliced bamboo diorama. That's really cool as well. So again, extra points to Joy Toy there. They've taken the turtle license and they've just put a little spin on it to make it uniquely their own. I really like that. Now, this is a real interesting piece coming from Mithril Action Figures. This Black Light Orky Boy is going to go up for pre-order on 5K Toys next month, and I'm impressed with the innovation here. So this is kind of an interesting gimmick. We've got our Orky Boy, which this company, they've got making Orky Boys down to a fine art. They know what they're doing, but how are they going to spruce this guy up? They're putting some black light style paint on him, which looks cool, as you can see in this video. When they shine the torch, the black light on there, it lights up and it looks like his armor is glowing, like there's heat, like there's lava and molten steel inside him. That's cool when you have a black light glowing on it. So it depends on how much use you think you're going to get out of this product. But I will always give a big extra whole bunch of points, 10 points to Gryffindor, for some innovation with your action figures and some black light use on a big Orky Boy with a Warhammer mallet that looks like it's glowing with lava. Yeah, okay. You get an extra point for that. It looks pretty good. Going to be available for pre-order on 5K Toys around about December. Now, over in the world of anime, which you know is a little bit foreign to me, from Baki Hanma, we've got the founder of Shinshinkai, Bujin Doppo Orochi. So this dude kind of looks like Sagat on holiday with his leopard print or tiger stripe underwear. I love how wacky anime can be sometimes. So this is Doppo Orochi. I can't tell you more than that. I haven't seen Baki Hanma, but I've heard it's very good. So he comes with 4 interchangeable head sculpts. Don't know why I did this for 4, but there you go. 4 interchangeable head sculpts with 6 different pairs of hands. He's got what I do like his cloth karate uniform. That's really nice. That's pretty good. He's got a karate obi, which I don't know what that is actually. I might have to have a little look at the accessories and work out by process of elimination what an obi is. But nonetheless, he looks like a lot of fun. Definitely the super anime version of Sagat with tiger stripe underwear. It's kind of fun. Going to be available around about Q2 of next year. And now something that I am quite familiar with, considering my current line of work, we have a whole bunch of Harry Potter figures coming out of the recent Bandai Tamashii Nations exhibit. So this dragon does look pretty damn dang darn gorgeous. It's a bit of a shame that with these pictures, there's nothing to give it scale. So we can't really tell how it's going to compare to your normal 1/12 scale figures, but whatever. I mean, if he's huge, I don't think he's going to be huge, judging by the looks of this. He's going to kind of match up with their Monster Hunter figures, I reckon. So about like yay big, if you will. He's going to be that big, I reckon, which actually is a lot of size for that much detail. The SH Figure Arts monster figures are glorious. They're so gorgeous. So if this dragon is of a similar quality, which these pictures look like it is, then yeah, he's going to be doing justice to the Harry Potter lore. Actually, looking at him more, dude, I love the kind of T-Rex looking sort of head with the spikes. Yeah, this looks really cool. So Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort, just one picture of each, hence 2 fingers. Looks good so far. I'm sure we'll have full releases later, and when we do, I'll talk about them. Now, this is an unusual little thing. Not familiar with this company. Morai's Hobby. Morai's Hobby Manhunter. 1/24th scale, though. So it's pretty small, actually. That's a very small figure if 1/24th is accurate. Going to be released around about December of this year. It's a cool design. Cyborg crocodile, very much like Crocubot. Reminds me of Rick and Morty. It's like, wait a minute, you are 1 part cold, unfeeling cyborg and 1 part cold, unfeeling reptile. I guess your other superpower is redundancy. Nonetheless, though, this is a fun-looking figure, but that's all I can really say. It's the car, right? Chicks love the car. Or they dig the car. I can't remember what the words are. Nonetheless, it's the wrong Batman as well. That was Val Kilmer. But we got the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batmissle. And it's another banger from Hot Toys. I mean, they've made the full Batmobile in the past. So it's kind of fun that you get the Batmissle version as well. An ability of the Batmobile that's only for very specific circumstances. But it is lucky that in Batman Returns, he just happened to need to make the Batmobile thinner to fit through a very slim wall. Hey, it was acceptable in the 90s. It does look lovely, though, with the LED lights. So it brings it to life really, really well. I mean, if you're buying this, it means you probably got the original Batmobile as well, and probably a Michael Keaton to go with it. So that's going to be a good looking set. So this one, definitely one of those nice to haves, but not need to haves. But if it's nice to have and you can afford it, then heck, more power to you. And Tamashii Nations are doing Guts and Casca from Berserk. These look so much better than their initial Guts. Well, actually, Tamashii Nations, it doesn't say SH Figure Arts, but SH Figure Arts is Tamashii Nations, aren't they? I get so confused. For a dude who's trying to make a living out of making action figure YouTube videos, my knowledge is shocking. But please help me with this. Lord knows I need some help. So regardless, the original Guts figure that I have in his Berserk armor is very bad for many reasons. This looks like a huge improvement, and I'm kind of glad that the original figure that I got was bad, because that kind of put me off collecting the line. Otherwise, I would be buying a lot more of them and spending money that I don't really have. But if you haven't been burnt the way I have, then you might want to pick these up, because these represent, what is it called? The golden age of Berserk, where things were kind of like horrifying, but still kind of happy. So it's nice to see our two protagonists in more jovial times. So I do kind of like this. Also, a little sneak peek from Tamashii Nations, we've got Spider-Man Noir with Spider-Ham. Just the one photo, so I won't linger on it, but if you missed out on the Marvel Legends and you're willing to spend a little bit of extra cash, then you can get this more zhuzhed up version, and looking at him, I gotta say, I think he looks pretty damn good. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. So it says Tamashii Nations Bandai Spirits Collector's Toy Department, Chogokin Super Change Mickey Mouse. Kind of cute, kind of scary as well. Not sure how I feel about it. Going to be released around about June of next year, and pre-orders open November 18th. It says the mechanic designer Okawa Kunio has turned Mickey Mouse, a character beloved by all around the world, into a transforming robot. Why not? Using alloy and plating the body allows this super changing Mickey Mouse to look heavy and rich without losing the iconic silhouette of Mickey Mouse. Yeah, for the Mickey Mouse fan who has everything, now you can get a transforming version. And if you prefer your Obi-Wan Kenobis a little more classic looking, you can get the Alec Guinness version as well. Going to be available for pre-order from November 18th. Should be releasing around about June of next year. And yeah, this is my Obi-Wan Kenobi right here. Although I do like Ewan McGregor as well, but just too many bad connotations of awful prequels and Disney Plus shows. This is when Star Wars was nothing but gold. And Ewoks, but mostly gold. This next one I'm so sorry about, because it's a classic staple of model behavior where it's Dave shows you something that looks cool, but he knows nothing about. Oh man, I want to give you more information on this. I wish I could do, but I've just got these pictures that I've been sent. Well, I wasn't even sent them directly. These are part of the Fulham Report on the Model Behavior Facebook group. Again, if you haven't joined, this is a great place to stay up to date with action figures, thanks to my man Eric Fullen, who just posts all the toy news he finds. But sometimes there are details lacking, which isn't his fault. It's just whatever he can get his hands on. So we've got these beautiful, awesome looking pictures, and trust me, when I find out more info as to the exact scale, pricing, release date, and where to order from, I'll let you know, because this, I don't know, Aztec, Mayan, whatever it is, this style of design, armor on a saber-toothed tiger skeleton, yes, I'm sold on this. Now, this is kind of cool. I'm not a big MOTU guy, but I love a good mashup. I really do, whether it's a mashup of action figures or of songs or of potato with butter and milk. Ooh, I could go for some mashed potato right now. So we've got Mattel Masters of the Universe Origins X Stranger Things Vecna and He-Man 2-pack. It's in stock and available for shipping from Target, $34.90. So for 2 figures, that ain't too bad. And I'm interested, if you're a classic vintage He-Man collector, is the Vecna of interest to you? Because obviously it's not a classic He-Man figure, but it's done in that style. And I gotta say, he looks like a lot of fun. Okay, so I mean, it's very rare that I'll have a figure on here where we need to use black bars, but whew, there's a few black bars in some of these pictures, and for good reason. They went all in. I got to say, they didn't scrimp on the details, clearly. So 1/6 scale, I mean, they've nailed the look of the character. I love that even in some of the pictures, they've got her in her fighting pose with the leg bent and the hips and like the hands just where it should be. They recreate the character beautifully. You know me, I was never a big King of Fighters guy. I lived and grew up in a Street Fighter household. But then again, I mean, if it was King of the Fighters and they looked like this, that probably would have played quite heavily into my formative teenage years, if you know what I'm saying. So this does look beautiful, though. Don't have a price yet, I'm afraid. But being 1/6 scale, I'm guessing that kind of Hot Toys kind of price, maybe about $250, give or take. But considering that it looks like it's a seamless silicone body with a metal endoskeleton underneath, which makes it sound real sinister, like it's a Terminator, you're gonna get a very sophisticated, I guess, action figure for your money. So I love the look of this. Wouldn't have a place for it in my collection, but certainly judging by not, all the schoolboy snickering aside, the actual quality looks beautiful. The soft goods, the clothes, the gear, the uniform, the fan, all that stuff looks real nice. So yeah, for a King of Fighters fan, this might be a must buy. So this I'm not at all familiar with, so maybe if you're into your anime, you might be able to help me out with this slightly. So it says here from V-Toys, first of all, 1/12 scale. It is the Good Lord scale. So this is a moving collectible doll. That's what the direct translation is. It's fun reading direct translations. So this is from Dragon Breath Hunter. Is that the name of an anime? I don't know, but it's 1/12 scale and looks like a cool fantasy figure. So I'm trying to see some more information. I can't see anything particularly useful, but it says should be released around about January. And hopefully if I can get more info, I'll be able to share it here. But in the meantime, whatever this is from, looks like some high concept gothic fantasy. And this guy at 1/12 scale, he looks pretty cool to boot. For all you high-rolling collectors out there, the ones who have a bit more money to spend after you've bought yourself a $250 Joker diorama, Mondo have got you covered with a beautiful-looking Godzilla collectible. Now, this is just gorgeous. I love this kind of Aztec sort of design. This is King Ghidorah from Mondo, and it's the vinyl designer figure by Urban Aztec. Planet X variant, timed edition, no less. I don't know, it's a whole load of words, but there you are. So $275, certainly for your more high-rolling kind of collector. But for me, it sounds silly, but I got into this kind of look, this kind of aesthetic from visiting like the tiki part of Disney. And I was like, I really like this because now I've got the sense memory of being on holiday and being at Disney. And now I can do that with a giant horrifying kaiju. I really love this. Way out of my price range. Where the heck would I even put it? I say that though, but my brain's also going, yeah, but you don't want to get too many dragons because what if you get the Mythic Legions one? And I'm like, no brain, we're not going to do that. Because I don't know how much it's going to cost, but you know it's going to be too much. But you never know also. You never know. McFarlane are keeping up with their statues. A couple that have popped up. There's this Joker one, a classic Joker, 1/6 scale, so kind of your Hot Toys scale. Apparently this is based on artwork by Jason Fabok. I'm not familiar, but it looks nice. He's going to be launching for pre-order November 13th. So 3 days ago. You better hurry up. And that's going to be available at selected retailers. And includes a McFarlane Toys digital collectible. Jog on with that nonsense. In Statue Corner, I'm making a Statue Corner. It's a thing now. In Statue Corner, we have from Overlord, which I think is an anime. It's an anime, and I think there's a movie that's in the cinema over here now, because I saw some amazing looking posters. We've got Albedo Premium Masterline Albedo. I don't know. Looks really cool, though. I don't know who she is. I don't know who you are, what you do, or where you go when you're not around. I don't know anything about you, baby, but you're everything I'm dreaming of. I don't know who you are, but you're a real dead ringer for love. A real dead ringer for love. I'm sorry, I just went meatloaf there. It happens sometimes on this channel. That's why you keep watching. But also, there's a repaint of their Incredible Hulk Wolverine. So this one originally came out, and it was the brown costume Wolverine, and he had Hulk reflected in his adamantium claws, just like the comic cover it was based on. Now it's the classic yellow and blue costume, but he doesn't have the Hulk reflected, which then makes the claws look a bit funny. Because obviously, for the brown one, they were huge and big because you had the reflection. Now you don't have the reflection, so he just has unusually oversized claws. But hey, it still looks like fun, so hey, if you want it, it's available. For Artist Ali, just going to shout out Eurocrab again because I used his Joker picture for this thumbnail because I thought, well, if I'm going to be covering the Joker, I might as well have an amusing, pretty anime picture to go with it. So there you go. Once again, I'd say friend of the show, but they have no idea who I am. But I shout you out a lot. So friend of the show on Instagram, Eurocrab. Go give him a follow. And folks, that does it for good news for today. What do you think, actually? Well, while we're doing this, let's do this in real time. Lights on? Lights off. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Is it better with the lights off? I think it might be better with the lights off, actually. I think I might do it like this. Anyway, comment below, let me know. And also let me know what you think about the items that we covered today. And if you like this show and you want to see more of me doing things, I'm not going to edit this. If you like this nonsense, then give it a thumbs up. Maybe even hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to support the channel, then you could, well, I mean, you are supporting the channel, but if you want to doubly support it, I appreciate all the support in all its forms. Is anyone still watching this nonsense when I'm just rambling? God bless you if you are. If you're watching this far, then maybe you might want to grab yourself a channel membership. If you do that, then you can take part in all of the extra live streams that I do almost every day. Not quite, but almost every day. I do a channel member live stream where we talk about the news of the day and all the things that entails. And it's always a good time. So guys, thank you so much for supporting the show. Thanks for watching this. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Coffee, big time.